Hello, and welcome to the first episode of 272 Berdan. I am Dean Kira alongside Jake Talarico as we will discuss the football season and their previous games. So Jake, what are your thoughts on the season so far?
So far, the Patriots have been struggling a little bit, but there have been many ups and downs on the offensive and defensive side. But overall, they've shown improvement all year long, but as of late, they have been struggling.
I agree with you. The Patriots have been struggling all year long. Now we'll talk about the Pascack Valley game.
The Pascack Valley game ended in a score of 13-7, and it was a back-and-forth defensive battle.
Now we'll throw it to Jake recapping the game.
Both teams were not able to get it done on the offensive side in the first quarter. The score was 0-0. However, mid-second quarter, Pascack Valley struck on a 4th-and-goal touchdown, a fake run to the right side of the field. They threw it to get the first points of the game. Nearing the end of the half, with time winding down, Rena makes a great pass to Garrity for the touchdown, to tie up the game at 7 before entering the half. Throughout the second half, it was a defensive battle, but both teams were unable to drive down the field and score a touchdown and take the lead. On the last play of the fourth quarter, Rena throws an incomplete pass. However, there is a defensive pass interference in the play, which gave the Patriots good field position to set them up for the win. The field goal to win the game ends up being a bad snap and sends the Patriots into overtime. Pascack Valley gets the ball in overtime. They score a touchdown to running the ball to the left side. Hills has one last chance on 4th and 14. It was a low snap, and Rena can't do anything with it, and the Patriots ended up losing 13-7.
That was a great game. Next we'll discuss a matchup of the best rivalry in North Jersey high school football, Ramapo vs. Wayne Hills. Ramapo took the win over Wayne Hills 20-14. The game started off slow, but ended strong for both sides.
Yeah, there isn't a rivalry better than that. Next we'll throw to Dean recapping that game.
Ramapo gets the ball first, and on a 2nd down and 2 at the Patriots' 42, Rena makes a great read and gets an interception to start off the game. Ramapo gets the ball back in the first quarter, however the ball is tipped in the air and intercepted by Matthew Garrity. Ramapo gets the first touchdown of the game, as it is a pass to the left side of the field. In the second half, Ramapo comes back again, and this time it's a Patriots' 43-yard line. It is a run play up the middle, and Ramapo's QB Grusser takes it to the end zone to give Ramapo a 14-0 lead. Now in the fourth quarter, the Patriots are driving, and on a 2nd and goal on Ramapo's 1-yard line, Ben Contella takes it up the middle for a 1-yard rushing touchdown to make it a 14-7 lead. Ramapo gets the ball right back, and they do a running play on their own 40, which ends in a 60-yard rushing touchdown for Ramapo. This was a crucial play in the ball game, and it was on a 2nd down, and it also made the score 21-7. Patriots continue to fight, and on Ramapo's 4-yard line, Rena makes a great throw to Makai Gray to make it a 21-14 ball game. That is all the scoring that happened in this game, as Ramapo took the game with a score of 21-14. Hills took a tough loss that game, but overall their season was a struggle. They played many great games with many great rivalries involved. Now, we'll send it to Jason Hook with the soccer segment.
Hello, I'm Jason Hook alongside Dean Kira here to talk about our boys soccer team.
Last year, the soccer team finished with a 10-3 record. Overall, a great season from the team. It made it all the way to the Northwest Group 3 finals, but took an unfortunate 3-1 loss to end the season.
The team is once again playing this year in the Group 3 tournament with a 7-11 record this year. They took a bit of a turn after the loss of multiple seniors.
Hills lost 3 key seniors this year, and has caused their record to take a downturn. Among these players were Aslan Cat, Sebastian Samaniego. The 2 leading scorers were 6 goals apiece. Another big loss was that of goalie Luke Trenacost, who had 56 saves last season.
The team has 2 platooning seniors in goal this year, with Jeffrey Ondamu and Anthony Cassis. Ondamu has 68 saves in 11 games played, and Cassis has 23 in 6 games.
The team seems to be struggling at home this year. They have a record of 3-5 at home, giving up 15 goals and scoring 13. The team has 4 away wins, just 1 more than they do at Patriots Stadium.
The team has 15 players leaving their roster, so a lot of new faces will be joining the team next year. One notable senior leaving after this year is Kareem Zirban, the 2nd leading scorer on the team.
The team's leading scorer, Bashir Tamis, will be a senior next year along with Richie Seasontone and David Grohl. Sophomore Ethan Rush shows promise on the defensive end as well and will make a great addition to the team in the seasons to come.
I got a chance to speak with sophomore Carmine Aliota, one of the newer faces you'll see a lot of next year, on his thoughts on the team. I'm here with boys soccer player Carmine Aliota, here to ask him a few questions. Now, Carmine, what do you think your biggest strength is on the soccer field?
My biggest strength is stopping the soccer ball from getting to our net. And once I do stop the soccer ball, I play it out to our mids, and they play it up, and we try to get it into their net.
And what do you think the team's biggest strength is as a whole?
The team's biggest strength is keeping possession and not making silly mistakes and making smart plays and just moving the ball. Just keep moving the ball.
What's one thing you think you can improve to help your skill set?
I think I can improve on my fitness, my endurance, my long balls, because sometimes when I just need to kick the ball up, sometimes I might hit it out by accident. I think I can improve on just hitting it to my team in precise shots.
And what's one thing that the team as a whole can improve on?
I think the team has the same problem. We need to make the shots on target and make them in the net rather than just hitting them out sometimes, which I understand. It's hard when you're swamped by 4 defenders or maybe more. But I think we could hit shots from farther away and hit them in the goal.
All right, seems like you have a lot of confidence for this team. This has been Jason Hook alongside boys soccer player Carmine Aliota, sending it back to the studio.
Hello, I'm Lana Fayes, and I'm pleased to be joined with Charlotte Frizzoli, and we're going to discuss the marching band here at Wayne Hills. We interviewed several different people with unique perspectives on this topic.
Over the years, the marching band has competed in many incredible performances. We've had the pleasure to talk to Mr. Paterno, the marching band director, about his personal favorite competition.
We've had a lot of great events with the band over the years, but by far my favorite was May 20th many years ago in Disney World. We opened what was then the Electric Light Parade, and there had to be 20, 30,000 people. It was amazing marching through Disney, and there's people 5, 6 deep the entire route. And the band loved it, but I think as the director, I even liked it more because it was just so exciting to be there. And they opened the gates, and they said, now in performance, Wayne Hills High School from Wayne, New Jersey. And the place just went crazy. It was awesome.
Wow, it's incredible how the Wayne Hills Marching Band performed for almost 30,000 people.
Yeah, it's crazy how many accomplishments the marching band has made over the years.
There's a wide variety of instruments in the marching band, and they all work together to create wonderful music. Some of these instruments are not common, but they're all important to the sound. And we interviewed a member of the marching band who plays an instrument that's very unique. Hello, I am Lana Fayes, and I'm here with Janae Murray, a player from the marching bands. Janae, what instrument did you choose to play, and why?
I currently play tenor saxophone. Usually in symphonic band, I play bass clarinet, but I chose to play tenor saxophone because bass clarinet isn't a marching instrument, and I really have been enjoying tenor saxophone.
Thank you so much. It's really awesome how she plays the tenor saxophone in the marching band, and she otherwise plays the bass clarinet, and there are a lot of instruments that not many people know about, but they're all very important.
Yeah, it goes to show that anyone can play as many instruments as they want, and it also shows that people are very, very talented in the marching band. The marching band has had many challenges over time, especially in this past year, but they have remained resilient and have made a comeback now with each and every member adding many strengths to the band. We asked Mr. Paterno about his thoughts on this, and here's what he had to say.
This year is a really interesting situation when you consider what are the strengths of the band. And I think the band's greatest strength this year is they just want to perform so badly. And by that I mean last year we were able to have marching band, but we could only do football games at home. This year we're back to doing our competitions away and being able to be in public a lot more, and the students are just eating it up. We wrote a show that allows them to really perform. They're dancing, they're playing all kinds of different instruments. So I would really say that the greatest strength is just their desire to play and make music and entertain the crowd.
Considering all of the challenges that the band has faced recently, they made such a great comeback.
Yeah, it must have been such a huge adjustment from going virtual to school to now an in-person school, and they did it very well.
Participating in the marching band allows people to discover things about themselves during their time in the band. We interviewed Miranda, and she shared her thoughts on this in her own personal opinion, and we've had the opportunity to listen. Here's Miranda.
Hello, I'm Charlotte Frizzoli, and I'm here with Miranda Hune from Marching Band. I have a few questions to ask her. Miranda, what instrument do you play?
I play the flute.
And what are some improvements that you've made since the beginning that you started Marching Band?
Well, I've noticed that I'm really better at like time management now because over the summer I worked a job as well, so I kind of had to figure out, time to do my summer reading and also just kind of relax. So I've gotten better at that. I've also made a lot of friends in marching band. I have friends in like every grade level now, like freshmen, juniors, seniors, and that's also just really cool because it's helpful because I've never been in the school. Last year we weren't here, so I kept getting lost, but I asked my senior friends and they helped me oh, your room is that way, and I'd be like, okay, thanks. So it's just a lot of fun, and it's really been helpful for me to just learn a lot and about myself and about band and school. So
Nice. Thank you.
yeah.
Miranda proved that being in the marching band is more than just playing an instrument. It's like they're a family together.
Yeah, they all have, they definitely have a bond together, and they're like a team.
Mm-hmm. If anyone watching this wants to join marching band, you can at any time, even if you have no prior experience with an instrument. Mr. Paterno offered some insight on this.
Hey, if there's any student out there that wants to join the band, the first thing I'll tell you is it's never too late to start. I started when I was a junior in high school, which a lot of people don't believe that, but I did. So, all it takes is the desire to want to do it and the desire to work. The band works pretty hard, I'm not going to lie to you, but at the same point, we have a lot of fun, make a lot of friends, and have a really good performance each weekend at competitions as well as football games.
I never would have guessed that Mr. Paterno didn't start playing an instrument until his junior year.
I know, it's crazy. It shows that anyone in the marching band can join at any time they want if they really want to do it.
We interviewed 2 members from the marching bands about their thoughts on this topic as well. Here's what Janae and Miranda had to say.
Janae and Miranda, if someone wanted to join marching band next year, what would you say to them?
I would tell them to go for it. I mean, it's a lot of fun. It does take up a lot of time though, so you kind of have to, figure that out with school and your whole schedule and stuff. But what are your thoughts, Janae?
Yeah, definitely join. You don't have to know how to play an instrument. You could just learn, and it's honestly worth all of the time and effort. You have a new community, more friends, and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, Janae even started playing before this season, and she's gotten really good at it over the summer. So, it just shows you that you don't need to be that good at an instrument because everyone will help you out with it. So if you feel like it, go for it.
Thank you.
That really shows how the marching band is one big family. Miranda and Janae become close friends through the marching band.
Yeah, if anyone really wants to join marching band, they should, because it shows how big of a family they can become with each other.
Yeah, it's a great experience for everyone involved.
Yep. If you want to know more about the Wayne Hills football team, here is Ryan with interviews, statistics, and more. You will learn more about football that may grab your interest to join.
Hello, Wayne Hills, and welcome to Patriots Football Forecast. On today's news, football. Dean, how does the season look so far?
We started off the season with a tough loss against Harrisonville in Missouri, had a great running back. Then I think we bounced back greatly against JFK and Passaic. Then we went on a skid of tough losses, but we played great teams like Ridgewood and Ramapo.
Mm-hmm. We have had pretty tough competition throughout, but overall we practice hard and play hard. So, what do you think about teamwork? How does the teamwork look?
I think our team looks great in chemistry-wise. I think Rena throwing the ball to Garrity, Mackay. I think overall we're clicking on all cylinders.
Mm-hmm. We do have a lot of friendships on the team and overall great leaders. Let's see what some players think about leadership on the football team.
Well, I mean, leadership comes from different things, and it's huge for a team. They got to rally behind a guy, oh, this guy, shows a lot of leadership qualities. We got to rally behind him, he'll lead us the way.
It means a lot of things. You just got to have that You got to have that mentality. You got to be a team player. You got to have everybody confident around themselves so they could be ready for the big game on Friday.
The importance of leadership. As players, we have to set an example with our leadership to the young kids on our team, showing them how to do each drill and showing them what to do on and off the field. It's important to get that team chemistry and team bonding as well.
They do make some excellent points on leadership. So, what about the practices? How does practices look?
You know what they say, practice makes perfect. It's all about watching tape and just getting ready for game day. That's what practice is all about.
Yep. When you practice hard, you play hard. I keep saying that. What about the coaching?
Coaching at Wayne Hills, I think what we like doing on offense is really like running the football, spreading open our passing game, which is good because Rena's got a strong arm, sucking the linebackers and then go deep. I think that's a great offensive scheme.
Yep. The offensive and defensive coordinators are doing pretty good throughout, and Coach Dem is really doing a great job as head coach, leading the team to their success. Let's see players talk about different drills that help prepare for the games.
I mean, I expect, respect, discipline, all that. I want focus. Everyone's got to do their own part, and if everyone just does their part, we'll be fine.
I expect a lot, nothing but the best. Just be good players, play hard, everything else,
Everyone to do their job and everybody to do what their position is told to do. If everybody does their job, we'll be successful and everyone will succeed.
They do make some excellent points. So how does the offense look?
Well, like we said before, they really like spreading out the ball, running the ball with John Sees and Ben Cantella. I think that's a great 1-2 punch. John Sees, he's quick, he's flashy. Ben Cantella, strong kid, who just gets in there.
Mm-hmm. And I do think that Rena has an excellent passing game. Like, he's always looking down the field for his two main wide receivers, Mackay and Matt Garrity, and they're doing an excellent job. What about defense?
Defensive side, we have great players. We have Tay, great linebacker. Our defensive line, really gets through the holes. I think we made some great plays this season, made some big sacks in crucial moments.
Mm-hmm. I agree. We do have excellent linebackers and linemen who like to push through the ball and make those good sacks whenever we need them. How about the players that everybody loves? Who does everybody love?
Players that everyone loves, I think everyone just likes the flashy players, like John Sees, flashy, quick, Garrity, super flashy, super quick, Mackay, just a quick player, great football player.
Yeah, Garrity does love to make the crowd go crazy whenever he has those toe-touch touchdowns. All right, let's see what players think about the most exciting aspects of football.
We do a lot of different drills. We do this thing called air raid where quarterback lines up, throws to receivers, works on route running, timing, all that. My personal favorite is when we do this drill where everyone just goes, we call it the pit. Everyone goes, they line up against another person, they go and they just give the all. Everyone gets hype around it. It's a great time.
Team blitz.
Team blitz?
Yes.
Explain it.
Going over our plays, everybody blitzing to the ball, all 11 guys to the ball.
So each position has their own individual periods where we work on our technique and what we're going to do and plan on the upcoming team, as well as team periods where we come together and work our meshes with everyone in the O-line blocks, and defensively we come together as a team and try to stop the opposing team's offense.
Dean, I do love game day too.
Thanks for listening to the Patriots Football Forecast. Up next on 272 Berdan is throwing out a segment on field hockey. Stay tuned.
Today we interviewed 3 players from our Wayne Hills field hockey team. We asked them questions about their team, their game day plans, and their season.
First, we talked to Alyssa, Jalen, and Kayla about their opinions on the rival team this season. Let's take a look.
I think our biggest rival is going to be Wayne Valley because they're in the same town as us and we play them every year and it's always a big game.
Definitely Wayne Valley because we're in the same town. And
I think our biggest rival is going to be Wayne Valley, especially since we live in the same town and it's always been like that.
I feel like Wayne Valley is a big competitor for many teams at Hills this year.
I feel like it's that way every year with every sport.
Next, we asked the girls what their team strengths were. Let's take a look at the video.
Our team strengths is our speed and the agility we have.
Our team strengths are definitely taking the ball up the side of the field, and we're really good on scoring on corners.
Our team strength is definitely our speed and our skill.
I feel like speed is a really big asset to any team.
Yeah, being fast definitely helps get past other players on the field.
Next, we asked the girls who will lead their team this year. Let's take a look at that.
I think that Sid Levitt and Olivia Tagliaferri are definitely going to help us win a lot of games this season.
I think our whole team will definitely carry this season. We've definitely gotten really far, especially our seniors.
Definitely our seniors are going to help us win because they are a very big asset to our team.
I feel like the seniors definitely play a big part in making the team be the team.
I feel like the seniors really help them stay motivated.
Next, we asked the girls what their favorite part about being on the team was. Let's take a look at this clip.
My favorite part about being on the team is making friendships with girls that will last the entire time I'm in high school.
My favorite part about being on this team is the friendships that I have and our close-knit team because we're kind of like a family.
Friendships that I make in the atmosphere, just overall hyping each other up at practice and in the games.
I feel like their bond really helps them stay motivated throughout the whole season.
Yeah, creating special friendships with everyone really helps create their high school experience.
Lastly, let's take a look at their game day routine.
Game day routine is to hype everyone up in the locker and play music.
My game day routine is screaming in the locker room and listening to music and hyping everyone up.
Being in the locker room and hyping each other up, getting ready, drinking lots of water. That's also very good.
I find it funny how each of the girls mentioned hyping each other up in the locker room.
I feel like their attitude really helps them throughout the whole game. Next, you'll hear a segment about college. Yassine and Sean interviewed 3 seniors and asked them questions about how they will prepare for college.
College is an important part of a person's life, as it is a great stepping stone into their adult life. We asked some of the students here at Wayne Hills whether or not they were planning to go to college, along with what major they were planning to go for.
Hello, I'm Yassine Abdegani. I'm a senior at Wayne Hills High School.
Hi, I'm Maria, and I'm a junior.
Hi, I'm Dia.
What grade are you in?
I'm a sophomore.
Do you plan on going to college this year or next year?
Yes, I do.
Yes, I plan on going to Rutgers.
Yes, I plan on going to college. I'm really interested in college. What major and why?
I want to go into TV production and media studies because I enjoy it and I think it's just fun.
I want to do business because I like to start up my own company.
What kind of company would you like to start up?
Maybe like a financial company.
I'm really interested into law school. I'm thinking about Seton Hall. Seton Hall is something I'm interested in. And I really like law school because my cousin is a lawyer. He tells me a lot about law school and it's how good of an experience it was, and I seem to enjoy it, so that really brought my interest in.
So Ryan, are you planning to go to college?
Yes, I am planning on going to college. I'm looking towards schools down south. I like warmer weather, and areas like University South Florida and U Tampa. Pretty nice down there. How about you?
I'm kind of the opposite, actually. I'm planning to go up north, like northeast, around Boston or New York, maybe. I like the cold better a lot. What kind of major do you think you're going for?
Major, I'm thinking about architecture major or maybe marketing major because I'm a pretty creative person and it brings out my creative side, and I could see myself doing it in the future, and it's something that I love. What do you think?
I'm thinking about going to the medical field, maybe psychology or nursing. But if that doesn't pan out, I'm also looking into game design because, I play a lot of video games and I think I might be good at it. So
sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, that's where I am. So obviously this year has been very different from last year in terms of being in a pandemic last year and a little bit things easing up now. But we asked some students what they thought about this year and last year and how they thought it was a bit different.
Did you find this year more busy inside school than last year?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a lot harder getting into the workload, and last year was online, so I could kind of manage my time more.
I do find this year more busier. Last year I tried to involve myself in more music.
Last year there were only like 3-4 students in each of my classes, and now there's at least 10 in each class, which feels like the school is more busy and more packed.
What do you think about this year and last year? Do you think it's like a very big change, or?
I think the change has been enormous. Like, there is so much free time that I had last year that I did not know how to fill, and it just really changed the perspective of life. But now everything seems to be going back to normal.
Yeah.
How has the change affected you?
It's the same thing. I think we had a lot of free time last year. It's pretty different than this year where we have a lot more work that we have to manage. Like you said, it's kind of like going back to normal, so we have to get back into that groove, you know? So that's basically how this year feels different from last year.
Yep, I agree.
So again, this year was very different from last year, and we had a lot of free time last year. So we also asked some of these students what they thought the differences were.
And what did you do during quarantine to fill up your time?
Watch TV and slept.
What's your favorite TV show?
My favorite TV show is Bob's Burgers.
During quarantine, I'm not gonna lie to you, I played a lot of video games. Hanged out with some friends. Not too many, the ones that I hanged out with the same day, and played sports mostly.
And after school activities like dance and tennis and track, so that took up my time there.
So what did you do to fill your free time last year?
In my free time, I didn't do that much because it was really hard to fill the time gap, but I spent a lot of time on Netflix and hanging out with my friends. What about you?
It's pretty much the same for me. I spent a lot of time on Netflix, YouTube, watching videos and such. And I hung out with my friends in person if I could, but if I couldn't, then we just played video games together, which is kind of how things have been going.
It's pretty cool. Applying to college may not be the easiest process, but it is a great step in someone's life. Up next, we will have Ariana and Rhea, who are going to talk about sports taking place here at Wayne Hills.
There are many different sports that are offered at Wayne Hills with many different seasons.
We interviewed various students about the sports they play here at Hills.
Let's hear what they had to say.
First up, let's look at our interview with Kara Langbaum, Angie Castillo, and Riley Thompson. They all play soccer. Kara does track, and Angie also skis. You know, I was never really good at soccer, but my brother's really good, and my dad also plays. It's kind of a big thing in my family. We always watch, like, the games on TV, and it's really, like, emotional and it's fun. And I think it's really cool, and I love watching it, even though I'm not very good at it.
Yeah, I'm not good at it either. I used to play when I was younger, but then I, like, stopped because, you know, I was not that great.
That's okay, yeah.
But it was really fun playing with, like, my team and stuff.
Yeah, let's look at 3 of the girls here at Hills that play soccer. What sports do you play, and what's your favorite thing about them?
I play soccer, and I like that because of my teammates, and I also run track, and I like that because the coaches are really supportive, and everyone's really nice, and on long runs, there's nothing to do but talk.
So you probably make a lot of friends when you're talking.
Yeah, you'd think so.
What sports do you play?
I play soccer and I ski.
What's your favorite thing about them?
I like team bonding with my teammates, doing fun activities, and I like going down the mountain.
I do too.
What sports do you play, and what's your favorite thing about it?
I play soccer, and my favorite thing about it is the competitiveness of playing in games.
I agree.
Next up is gymnastics. I think gymnastics is really cool. I think it takes a lot of skill to do all those flips, and literally it just takes so much muscle, and I have a lot of respect for people like my friend Maya who does gymnastics.
Yeah, they do a lot of training, especially in cheer and stuff. They have to do like flips and stuff. It's like really impressive.
It's really good.
It's really cool.
I think it's cool. Yeah, let's look at Maya and Victoria, 2 girls that do gymnastics.
What sports do you play?
I do comp cheer.
What's your favorite thing about it?
I don't know, just like bonding with your teammates and like really learning to be like a team and doing everything as one.
That's really cool.
What sports do you play, and what's your favorite thing about it?
I do gymnastics, and my favorite thing is tumbling on floor.
That sounds great.
Next up is swim. Actually, we were on the swim team together, the Wayne Hill swim team.
Yeah, the Wayne Hill swim team last year. I think it was really fun. And I also I've done club swim for a very long time, and I actually prefer Hill swim over club swim. Just the environment and the people, and it's just so much better in Hills than like at club, which is like saying a lot. But I still like club swim, but I prefer Hill swim. It's just a lot more fun.
Now let's look at 2 of our teammates, Mia Medina and Alexis Gentili.
What sport do you play?
I swim.
What's your favorite thing about it?
My teammates.
Like me, I swim too.
What sport do you play?
I swim.
What's your favorite thing about it?
My teammates, and I really like my coaches, and the practices are just really fun.
That's nice.
You know, another sport that's really fun is volleyball. It's a lot of fun to like play at the beach with your friends, and just the dynamic of the sport. It's like a lot of communication, and I think it's really cool.
It's really fun too. I've tried it before.
Yeah. What about softball?
Softball's pretty fun. I've never actually been to a match before.
Yeah, me neither.
But it's really fun. I think I've played it before when
Actually,
I was
no.
in gym and stuff.
I've never I've never really played it in gym, but my cousin used to play, and I remember she really liked it, and I think it's pretty cool. Let's look at Jasmine and Emma, who play volleyball and softball. What sports do you play, and what's your favorite thing about it?
I play volleyball, and my favorite part about it is just working together as a team and just being on the court together.
Yeah, I agree.
What sports do you play?
I play softball.
What's your favorite thing about it?
Probably my teammates because they support me like with whatever I do.
That's really cool. Stay tuned. Up next is Rebecca and Mike talking about the boys soccer team.
Thank you, Ariana and Ria, for your segment on Wayne Hills Sports.
Now we'll be talking about boys soccer.
Aren't you on the boys soccer team?
Yes, I am. I am one of the offensive players for our team.
Now let's watch what Coach Bailey has to say about boys soccer.
Lucci, and I'm here with Coach Bailey.
How you doing?
All right. So, as a coach, do you find the players thinking their training is challenging?
I think so. I think we like to mix it up here or there. You know, give them some either things. You know, push them a little bit every day, challenge them with something new mentally and physically.
What aspect of coaching has helped you improve as an individual?
I think just having all the different personalities that we have on a program, you know, seeing how kids react to each other, you know, and then trying to make just one solid program.
What team do you think is going to be the most trouble for you this season?
I think always Wayne Valley is the challenging team because we have the rivalry. We have friendships on those teams, you know, and everyone just likes to compete, and it just brings out the best competition on both sides.
Which captain has a big impact on the team and why?
I think they all bring something individually, you know, and as a unit, I think they do very well. So to point one person, I don't know if we could really do that because they all kind of complement each other.
All right. Thank you, Coach Bailey.
Wasn't that interesting?
Very interesting. Thank you, Coach Bailey, for letting me interview him.
We also had the chance to speak with the varsity team captain, Jake Hecker, and the goalie, Anthony Cassis. Let's see what they have to say about boys soccer.
Hey, congratulations on being captain. And do you find your training sessions challenging?
No, Bailey's usually good at having light sessions after games and just preparing for the next game.
Okay. What team do you think was the most trouble for you this season? What team do you think was the most trouble for you this season?
Probably Valley. You know, it's always a big rivalry, but this year they have a decent team, and so do we. So, big competition, but hopefully come out with a win. Yep.
All right, so knowing that you are a soccer player, which famous soccer player do you take as an inspiration?
Sergio Ramos. I'm a big fan of his defense, and I aspire to be just like him.
Last question. Which captain has a bigger impact on the team and why?
I'm not going to say myself, Luigi. Probably Ryan Schutz. He's a really big midfield presence on the team, and he's just an overall fun person to be around. So.
All right, thank you for being here with me.
Thank you, Jake Hecker, for doing this interview with me.
Next up, we have Anthony Cassis talking about boys soccer. Let's see what he has to say.
Hello, my name is Michael Lucci, and I'm here with Anthony.
Hello.
As being a very good goalkeeper for the Wayne Hills team, do you find your training sessions challenging?
They are challenging. When it comes to practicing with the whole team, it's pretty light. It's usually do shooting, and we're only there for the shooting drills. But when we practice with Coach Kraus, me and Jeffrey usually push each other, and it's a very he makes sure to challenge us and make sure we do our best. And me and Jeffrey are always pushing each other to do better for each other.
So knowing that there's a lot of teams out there, which team do you think is going to be the most trouble for your team?
I think Valley every year is the most troubling team because not only do they have a good team this year, it's a rivalry. So emotions, tensions are high, and it's always fun playing them, and it's always challenging.
So you are a goalkeeper. Which famous soccer player or goalkeeper do you take as an inspiration?
When I was really young, I looked up to Joe Hart and Casillas because they were the first goalkeepers I ever watched, and ever since watching them, I always wanted to be a goalkeeper.
So as our last question is here, which captain has a big impact on the team and why?
Definitely Jake Hecker, because he is you don't want to get on his bad side sometimes. He can switch on and off real quickly, and his IQ on the field is crazy, and he makes sure everybody does their job right. He's one of those, big presence on the field that you do not want to disappoint, and he just pushes the team every day to work harder and harder.
All right, thank you for being here, and we'll see you next.
After watching all of these videos, we can definitely see that Wayne Valley is a very big opponent to our school.
Thanks for watching. Now we have Marissa and Leah up next talking about girls volleyball.
Hello, 272 Berdan. It's Marissa Toulis.
And Leah Caruso. Today we are talking about girls volleyball.
We interviewed a few different varsity starters to see how their season has been. Now let's take a look at what senior Kaylin Alejo has to say.
Okay, I am here with Kaylin Alejo. She's on the varsity volleyball team, and she's a senior. We are going to ask you a few questions, okay? So how is your season going so far?
Our season is going pretty well, I think. Definitely a strong team this year.
Any strengths that the team has?
Yeah, actually, we have a couple of juniors that played on varsity last year, and our serving has gotten a lot better. So that's definitely our strong point, serving and servicing passing. And then with the juniors that we have a pretty good attack.
Great. And anything that you think you guys could work on as a team?
I think we could probably work on communication. I feel like any team, that's like the biggest thing. Because you get so caught up in the game, you forget to talk to each other. So that's definitely one thing.
Hope you guys have a great season.
Thank you.
Wow, communicating with each other is key to winning. You need to help each other and talk to each other during the game.
Yeah, you will not win any games without communicating, especially in girls volleyball. Let's take a look at what varsity starter since her sophomore year, Ariana Wood, has to say.
Okay, hi guys. I am here with Ariana Wood, and she's a junior on the girls varsity volleyball team. I'm just going to ask you a few questions. So what is your favorite thing about being a part of this team?
My favorite thing about being part of the volleyball team is definitely just the bond and the friendship that we have on and off the court. It just makes everything so fun, and I'm so happy to be there every single day.
That's great. And one last question. Do you have any pregame rituals?
Honestly, my pregame ritual is taking an energy drink because that really gets me started and doesn't make me drowsy. And also just getting hyped with my teammates on the bus, singing along with all the songs that we play. That's really it.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
We have a lot of strong underclassmen this year, and they bring a lot to the team.
Yeah, it seems like we have a lot of sophomores and juniors who really know what they're talking about and are very good to the team.
Now, let's take a look at another strong underclassman.
Okay, I am here with Brielle Wood, and she plays on the varsity girls volleyball team. How are you doing? I'm good, how are you? Okay, I'm just going to ask you a few questions. So, what is the position that you play, and why do you like it?
So I'm a setter or right side hitter. Like setters, they basically set up their hitters so they can get an attack and score a point. I like that because it helps the team out and we can score points by setting the ball.
Great. What do you think you bring best to the team?
I think I communicate a lot and I'm really positive, so I can bring that team's energy up for the games.
And how long have you been playing volleyball?
I've been playing for 4 years. I started freshman year because I wanted to see what volleyball was like because it looks really fun.
Thank you.
Wow, it seems like our defense is very strong this year.
Yeah, the defense is probably the best part of the team. They definitely do a really good job of making sure that the other team's points are really low.
Definitely. Now let's check out what our final underclassman brings to the team.
Hi guys, I'm here with Jenny Polite, and she is a junior on the girls varsity volleyball team. Hi Jenny. Hi. I'm just going to ask you a few questions. So what is the strongest part of your team, you think?
I think our strongest part is just being able to be close with each other and understand each other when you don't really say anything about it.
That's good. And do you prefer playing offense or defense?
I prefer offense because it's kind of even though it's a team sport, you have your moment to do whatever you want and you have a lot of options. So offense for sure.
And who is the head coach?
The head coach is Crespo, and he's just been there for, I think, 4 years now. So, yeah, he's been our coach the whole entire.
And how do you think he makes you guys stronger as a team?
He forces us to watch film and just like texts us nonstop about certain things we need to fix. So he definitely brings that to the table for us.
Great. Good luck this season.
Thank you.
They are all very talented players and bring a lot to the team. That's all for girls volleyball. Thanks for watching.
But don't go anywhere. Ariana and Steph are up next with an interesting Q&A.
Hey Wayne Hills, I'm Stefania Golding, joined by Ariana Ray. Today we'll be looking at some fun, interesting interviews from your fellow peers.
Yes, that's right. Each of them were asked, if you could have dinner with a person, dead or alive, who would it be with and why?
Ariana, if you could have dinner with a person, dead or alive, who would it be with and why?
I think I would want to have dinner with Harry Styles because he's my favorite music artist, and I really admire him, and I feel like having a conversation with him would be really interesting.
Great answer. But let's hear from what others have to say.
Definitely. Today our interview starts off with Zaid Gaber, a fellow sophomore.
If you could have dinner with a person, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
I think I'd pick my grandpa who passed away before I was even born, because I really want to know like how his life was and what he like went through, and I just want to like feel connected with him.
Yeah, I totally get that. And, it's hard with dealing with dead relatives. Do your parents ever mention him, or siblings, or cousins?
They mention him, but like not as much as you'd expect. And I just want to really like get to know him, because they go like he's a tough man, he's a strong man. I just really want to meet him. It seems cool.
Like, I totally get that. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
As we can see, Zaid found that he would share dinner with his relative who has passed away and he would have bond with, which was a common response.
In fact, that point brings us to our next interview with Adith Balaji, who shared that he would love to eat dinner with his father.
If you could have dinner with a person, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
I'd probably have a nice dinner with my dad, because we'd always, when we have dinner, we would watch like TV shows, we watch movies, and like being cinema buffs is something that both of us share a lot with each other.
Right, and what TV shows would you and your dad watch together?
We'd usually watch like The Mandalorian, Loki. Sometimes I'd pressure him into watching anime, but yeah, just a lot of variety.
Awesome. I wish I could do the same with my dad. We definitely found it interesting that he would watch anime videos with his father.
Now, we will be looking at our third interview with Alex, who shared that he too would share dinner with a relative who has passed away.
Okay, if you could have dinner with a person, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
I'd pick my grandpa because there's still so many things I want to know about him, but he's no longer with us, so I just want to know those things.
Yeah, it totally makes sense. What is your relationship with your grandfather? Or what was it with your grandfather?
I'd say I was really close with him. I try to see him every weekend, but sometimes it was really hard because he lived in Long Island.
And did you go to Long Island often?
We tried our best to go as often as we can, but it was really hard due to traffic and everything.
Great. Thank you for sharing.
It's very nice to see that family carries huge importance within each of us.
Absolutely. Due to the pandemic, I have, and I'm sure most of us have adopted the ability to learn the value of family and appreciate them more. Now we'll be looking at a fun, interesting interview that was lighthearted, such as Matthew Aninsky's. If you could have dinner with a person dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Probably Elon Musk, honestly. I just want to know what that man thinks and what goes on in his head throughout the day. Just like how he gets his ideas and how he runs all of his companies and projects.
Right, and I know your dad works with business. Is that influence?
My dad's definitely been a big influence. Yeah.
Cool. That's it.
Thank you, Matthew, for your engaging take on the question. Now, let's take a look at Lana Face's interview with Steph to see who she would have dinner with.
If I could have dinner with any person, dead or alive, it would probably be a chef like Bobby Flay, because who wouldn't want to have dinner with a professional chef? Or maybe Julia Child, because she was one of the best cooks in the world and she was very innovative. And I feel like it would be very interesting to have dinner with something that they cooked. And they probably have a lot of stories because many chefs travel around the world. So yeah, I think it would probably be with a chef.
Yeah, awesome. I see how a chef and traveling would be really into that. Do you like to travel a lot?
Yeah, I like to travel, usually like close by here. I've been to the Caribbean a few times, and I really enjoy like other cuisines.
Totally makes sense. What would be a meal you would share with this person? Or request your chef to?
Maybe like their signature dish, because every chef like has something that they feel is their best.
Yeah, awesome. And what would you have a conversation with? What would you talk about?
I would probably ask them about their experiences and like their favorite people who they've worked with over the years.
Do you know some of the chefs you've mentioned who they worked with?
No, not really.
All right, awesome. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Thank you for your contribution, Lana. It's very interesting to see that you would have had dinner with a chef. I wouldn't have thought about that.
Me neither. In fact, that brings us to our last interview with Charlotte Frizzoli. She mentioned that she would have dinner with a celebrity, Michael Jackson.
I would probably have dinner with Michael Jackson because I think he's a really talented singer, and I think he's a talented artist. And I like to listen to all of his songs, and I like to dance to all of his songs, so probably him. Oh, totally. I would probably have, yeah, I would, because I think like maybe he could, tell me how he came up with this lyric or whatever, and then it could be a fun conversation to share. I love Thriller. I love the song Rock With You. I love Beat It. I love a lot of his songs. I don't know. I guess just like a burger or something. Yeah.
Awesome answer, Charlotte. Thank you so much, Zaid, Edith, Alex, Matthew, Lana, and Charlotte for your contributions of today's segment.
Well, that will be it for today. I'm Ariana.
And I'm Stefania. Stay tuned for Thomas's and Marissa's Q&A about the differences in the past 2 school years.
Hello, I'm Thomas, and I'm here with Marissa. Marissa and I will be talking about the obstacles some of us had to face over the past year.
I'm very curious about what students thought about how school is different from last year compared to now.
Now, Marissa, I'm very interested. What are some experiences you had to face over the past year?
Last year we had shortened periods. They were all half days, so we didn't get as much done in class, and I didn't get to see my friends that much.
That was a very interesting experience you had to face during this past year.
We got a chance to talk to senior Michael May about how school has changed for him this year.
It's different because everyone last year, we had cohorts A, B, and C, and then they changed it to 2 cohorts A and C with all the kids just going hybrid and everything. It made it a lot harder last year. The school was like hard because it was hard to like learn online and stuff. Wi-Fi problems, not like knowing what to do to work and like on the computer and stuff. It was hard. It was going into school and like going home on certain days. I just wanted to be in school the whole time.
Thank you, Michael, for taking the time to be interviewed for Wayne Hills TV.
That was a very interesting point of view from the past year.
Now, let's see what Jake Santers has to say about his experience this past year in Wayne Hills.
Like he said before, the cohorts and all the people that the work and everything, like we barely had any tests or quizzes. Well, I'm not complaining, but it's just, yeah. The Wi-Fi problems and being late to class because of Wi-Fi, not being able to upload stuff to Classroom because, yep. And, yeah, I think that's it, just the Wi-Fi problems. Being virtual is from not seeing my friends coming to school. Nowadays, it's like you can see all your friends.
Thanks, Jake, for taking time to be interviewed for Wayne Hills TV.
To conclude this segment of 272 Berdan, we got a chance to interview Stefania Goding about the 2020 to 2021 pandemic year.
For the past year, school has definitely taught me the ability to expand and learn new experiences from an online to a in-person standpoint. Also, taking on inline or in-person schooling for granted is not very good. Definitely time management and communicating with teachers and collaboration as a whole. Well, I definitely I really miss waking up and just like going on my computer. I found that like so much more convenient. And now you have to get ready and wake up early. But as a whole, I'm happy that we had the opportunity to come back in school.
Thanks, Stefania, for coming into the Wayne Hills TV studio for an interview.
Wow. Michael, Jake, and Stefania all had really different experiences during the pandemic era in Wayne Hills this past year.
It really stinks that we had to go through all of this craziness over this year, but thankfully we are heading to the light at the end of the tunnel.
On behalf of everyone in TV2, thanks for tuning in to our first episode of 272 Berdan for the year.
Until next month.
I'm Thomas.
It's Marissa.
So long from Wayne Hills TV.